The knees are the most compromised joints in the body, not because just we walk on two knees, also because the lower legs are very awkward in circulation. You have two bones here, the tibia and the fibula, and it's a very tight compartment because you have to have a lot of spasm regulation in the lower legs to prevent the fluids from pulling down with gravity. So the knees suffer from two things. It is a weight-bearing joint, and it is the most compromised circulatory part. You go to the doctor with knee problems, you will have to clean cartilage, you will have to do a lot of endoscopic stuff, and most of the time the doctor will tell you will need new knees, you will need knee replacement. Here is my trick. I am 74 years old. 30 years ago, the doctors decided that I have to have knee replacement. Well, guess what? I did not. And I can still run, lift weights, and work with my own knees. So how do I do it? You use a trick. This is my trick. You use a very long elastic wrap. This is about twice my height. This is about 12 feet long. And you use a tight, a strong one-layer slender knee support. Why do you have to use two of these, not one? One of them with a soft, long wrap. This is for trapping the synovial fluid inside the joint and preventing swelling of the soft tissue. If you trap the interarticular fluid inside the joint, you will prevent the joint from getting damaged by lacking of lubrication. Because to have a weight-bearing joint, like any mechanical joints that have to produce heat by friction, you will have to have a cartilage that is an elastic, tough tissue that use electrostatic repulsion to generate a spring-like shock absorber, and you need a fluid to cool the shock absorber that is hard cartilage. So the first trick that nobody will tell you about, even the doctors even don't know about it. Of course I know about it because I am a doctor and an athlete. So I have a real life experience. And I did not have any surgery, even though my knee is in a bad shape. But here is the trick. First, you are going to tie the knee above about 18 millimeter mercury or something like that, but to the point you have to be tight, but not very tight. So you should not have a swelling. You should not have a swelling under the wrapping. That's a tight wrap, and it looks great, comfortable, because I'm going to work outside now to cut a tree. So here is how tight it is. It is tight enough when I stand, all the needles and the pain and the sharp tissue because of loss of cartilage. When you have no cartilage, you have bone on bone, and the bone doesn't like friction because it doesn't have the electrostatic repulsion properties, and it doesn't know how to cool itself. So the bone gets hot and the bleeding happens, and you have hematomas inside, and you can have devastating bone problem. Here is my first trap. This is an elastic wrap from under the knee to above the knee. That will keep the fluids inside the joint, the synovial fluid. If you look at the knee here, here is the tendon, the hamstring tendon that comes from the patella and inserted into the tibia. If you look around it, You have 2 points around the tendon that are the liquid that are bulging, because this is the only way to access the knee joint. If you press them like this, you keep the interarticular synovial fluid inside, and it doesn't have to sneak outside and cause swelling. It is a matter of diffusion. It is like when you irrigate the soil in a garden. Where does the water go? The water chooses the least resistance and the flow in that way because of diffusion. So when you increase the resistance from outside, above and under, on the gastrocnemius and the quadriceps and the back of the knee, you prevent the fluid from diffusing away from the knee, because you wanted the fluid to be inside, to be able to move without having bone-on-bone damage, which is devastating when you walk. All the people have this problem. Then you put this cylinder. This is a very tight. You have to have a size that fits the size of your knee. Now I have a less compromised knee. I can stand on it and I can walk on it. And I can work on it. Of course, you are not going to be young again. You cannot reverse aging. But you can live with aging, with injuries, and become mobile. And instead of walking like Joe Biden, miserable Joe Biden, you don't have to walk like Joe Biden, a stiff old man. And nobody taught Joe Biden how to do yoga, how to do aerobics, how to take care of basic anatomy, physiology, mobility, range of motion, and flexibility. Here is the way I do the second one. You can see it better from the other side. It is tight. I keep tension on it. It is tight. So I have tension on the top, on the quadriceps. I have tension on the bottom. And when I walk outside, to walk on a rough surface, to cut a tree, it makes me, I can stand for 3, 4, 5 hours doing that. Of course, after you come back, you are very tired, because you're working a lot and you forget yourself. You forget about that the heart and the lungs don't, the muscle can endure, or the bone and the cartilage cannot endure, because you are damaged. If you don't do that, if you don't do what I do, you are going to have a knee replacement. And the knee replacement is more damaging and devastating than putting up with your own bad knees. Look at how beautiful it is. You have bad knees, you make them functional by keeping the interarticular synovial fluid tightly retained inside. You prevent it from running away, escaping, diffusing away. This is a very good tight wrap. Then I have the second wrap that is tighter. Look at how beautiful it is. Now let me stand. Now I can stand on my toes, and I also can do the side kick, the front kick, the running. And the more you stand on one foot, you increase the threshold of the tendon, the cutoff tendon, where the tendon have to shut off the muscle. When you increase it, you prevent your ability to fall, which means you have to stand as long as you can on one foot and support your body somewhere else to increase the muscle tone. Here is the trick that you will never learn about it from a book, but you learn about it from somebody with experience in sports activity and with medical background. On the side, you have to have the heels up. Stand on the front of your toes. When you have to stand for long hours, you need to change the way you load your legs. You can load your legs this way. 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 The more you change, you distribute the damage or the weight bearing on the knee surface. The knee has two condyles, a medial condyle and the lateral condyle. If you keep walking like this on a flat surface, on a flat foot, you'll have a devastating injury to your knees. You'll be crippled in bed. Like a lot of people that don't have a clue how to survive and function with injuries, this is a good lesson for them to learn how. When you have serious problem, you need to get the tendon back to normal, and you need to get the muscles back to strength, flexibility,